Has there ever been a PG-13 zombie movie before? World War Z is the story of how Brad Pitt hunts down a cure for the recently started zombie apocalypse. So the premise is very simple. I mean, everybody knows the story. A zombie outbreak happens, and it's the story of the family trying to get to safety. So this movie was actually better than I expected. I expected it to be a generic action flick with mindless action and no real story whatsoever, which it pretty much was, but I mean, it was a lot more entertaining than I thought it would be. One thing I really liked about the movie was that Brad Pitt is an ex-United Nations employee, and so he can adapt to himself really well. Like, for example, I'm not going to spoil anything, but he watches somebody turns into a zombie, and he counts in his head how long it takes between getting bitten and turning into a zombie, and then later on, he gets zombie blood in his mouth, and he swallows it, and by mistake, of course, and he immediately goes up to the edge of a building, ready to throw himself off. As he's holding himself at the edge, he's counting to see if he turns. So when I saw the trailer for this, at first, I mean, I obviously thought zombie movie, but I thought action movie. I didn't think horror movie at all whatsoever. And, I mean, for the most part, it is an action movie, but, I mean, there are some horror elements in it, like, they're trying not to get caught by the zombies, they're creeping through the halls, the suspense is all built up. And there are even a few jump scares in the movie, like those cheap ones that you're like, you automatically jump, but I mean, it doesn't count as a scare because it's just throwing a zombie at the screen or something like that. And on the topic of zombies, as you saw from the trailer, for the most part, the zombies are CGI. Like, when they're all up in groups, doing something like climbing the wall from the trailer, you can tell that's CGI. And the zombies, they move really, like, sporadically, like, just kind of lurching around like that. So occasionally it looks like the frame rate's getting all choppy, but really it's just the way that the zombies are moving, and that kind of took me out a little bit, but I mean, it's still pretty cool for the most part. And one thing that I thought was kind of weird was that the poster shown here, the scene never really happened in the movie. And the ending had a lot of unanswered questions. Like, I don't know if they're opening up for a sequel, but I mean, a lot of stuff wasn't answered. And the only reason it was really rated PG-13 was because of the camera angles they used. Like, they would, like, look the camera away when something really violent happened. But I bet there's going to be, like, a director's cut that comes out on DVD so that you'll see everything in the ungraded bloody glory and all that kind of stuff. So overall, World War Z is good, mindless action, pretty good time, a good matinee movie if you want to see with your friends or something like that. So I'll give World War Z 7 out of 10. And as always, like and favorite if you enjoyed, and hopefully I'll be posting more reviews as I see more movies.